In World War II, Japan gained a lot of land, and in today's video we are going to be describing how they lost almost, if not all of it. For reference, this is how much land they gained by 1942. The Battle of Midway had no land involved, however this was still the turning point for Japan in the war, because of how much their military suffered in this battle. They lost 4 carriers and hundreds of aircraft and men, which is not ideal, and Japan only suffered more in the coming battles. The Battle of the Guadalcanal again didn't lose Japan any land, but weakened their military even more when they tried to overtake the Guadalcanal. They lost a few battleships and destroyers and a heavy cruiser, which is bad enough for their navy, but also had a heavy hit to their air force, losing up to 800 aircraft, and they lost 20,000 men to top it all off. This is when Japan started losing some land, when the Allied forces started taking islands like the New Georgia Islands and Bougainville. Overall, the Japanese lost many ships and a massive hit to their air force and military, losing 1,500 planes and 86,000 men, and the land they lost equated to 13,000 square kilometers. It's important to note that the loss of the Philippines for Japan took many battles, and this is a summarized, condensed version of those battles. And while it's hard to calculate the losses of the whole Philippines campaign, the estimated losses are 365,000 men and 1,300 aircraft and 93 or more ships, and a devastating loss of land at 300,000 square kilometers. This was also the first use of kamikaze airstrikes by the Japanese to my knowledge. The Battle of Iwo Jima had lower losses compared to some other battles, losing 300 planes or so, 21,000 men, and 21 square kilometers, and almost no ships, as their navy was almost gone by now. The Battle of Okinawa had significant losses for Japan, losing more than 100,000 men, 1,400 aircrafts, and many more kamikaze aircraft, and a lot of its remaining navy, alongside 1,200 square kilometers of land. Unfortunately, 40,000 to 150,000 civilians were also killed. There were not a lot of military losses in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing, but this is an important part of Japan's surrender, and these weren't the only planned atomic attacks on Japan. There were up to 4 more planned atomic strikes, putting more pressure on Japan to surrender, and many civilians were killed. With Japan's navy and air force basically destroyed beyond repair and more atomic strikes on the way, there was almost no other option than to surrender, and on September 2, 1945, Japan officially surrendered all captured territory, which equated up to 6 million square kilometers in total, and they were left with only their home island. These are the sources in which I got the images for this video that were not public domain, but were available with proper credit given. The other images that don't have a link were public domain. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.